Dhanavat Pranam, Namaste. All glories to Srila Bhakti Rakshak Shiradev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3. Krishna is the source of all incarnations, Text 2. Yasyam basi sayanasya yoga nidram vidhantava nabhi hridham bujad ashid Brahma Vishva Shrijampati. A part of the Purusha lies down within the water of the universe. From the navel lake of his body sprouts a lotus stem, and from the lotus flower atop this stem, Brahma, the master of all engineers in the universe, becomes manifest. Purport from Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The first Purusha is the Karnadakja Vishnu. From his skin holes, innumerable universes have sprung up. In each and every universe, the Purusha enters as the Garbhodakja Vishnu. He is lying within the half of the universe which is full with the water of his body. And from the navel of Garbhodakja Vishnu has sprung the stem of a lotus flower, the birthplace of Brahma, who is the father of all living beings, engaged in the perfect design and working of the universal order. Within the stem of the lotus there are 14 divisions of planetary systems, and the earthly planets are situated in the middle. Upwards there are other, better planetary systems, and the topmost system is called Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. Downwards from the earthly planetary system there are 7 lower planetary systems inhabited by the Asuras, and similar other materialistic living beings. From the Garbhodakja Vishnu, there is an expansion of Kshirodakja Vishnu, who is the collective Paramatma of all living beings. He is called Hari, and from him all incarnations within the universe are expanded. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Purusha avatar is manifested in 3 features. First, the Karnadakja, who creates aggregate material ingredients in the Mahatattva. Second, the Garbhodakja, who enters in each and every universe. And third, the Kshirodakja Vishnu, who is the Paramatma of every material object, organic or inorganic. One who knows these plenary features of the personality of Godhead knows Godhead properly, and thus the knower becomes freed from the material conditions of birth, death, old age, and disease, as is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. In this shloka, the subject matter of Mahavishnu is summarized. The Mahavishnu lies down in some part of the spiritual sky by his own free will. Thus he lies on the ocean of Karna, from where he glances over his material nature, and the Mahatattva is at once created. Thus, electrified by the power of the Lord, the material nature at once creates innumerable universes, just as in due course a tree decorates itself with innumerable grown fruits. The seed of the tree is sown by the cultivator, and the tree or creeper is due course becomes manifested with so many fruits. Nothing can take place without a cause. The Karna ocean is therefore called the causal ocean. Karna means causal. We should not foolishly accept the atheistic theory of creation. The description of the atheists is given in the Bhagavad Gita. The atheist does not believe in the creator, but he cannot give a good theory to explain the creation. Material nature has no power to create without the power of the Purusha, just as a Prakriti or woman cannot produce a child without the conception of a Purusha or man. The Purusha impregnates the Prakriti, delivers. We should not expect milk from the fleshy bags on the neck of a goat, although they look like breasty nipples. Similarly, we should not expect any creative power from the material ingredients. We must believe in the power of the Purusha, who impregnates Prakriti, or nature. Because the Lord wished to lie down in meditation, the material energy created innumerable universes at once. In each of them the Lord lay down, and thus all the planets and the different paraphernalia were created at once by the will of the Lord. The Lord has unlimited potencies, and thus he can act as he likes by perfect planning, although personally he has nothing to do. No one is greater than or equal to him. That is the verdict of the Vedas. Text 3. Yasya bhavyava samsthanai kalpito loka vishtara tadvai bhagavato rupam vishudham sattvam urjitam. It is believed that all the universal planetary systems are situated on the extensive body of the Purusha, but he has nothing to do with the created material ingredients. His body is eternally in spiritual existence par excellence. Purport. The conception of the Virat Roop or the Vishva Roop of the Supreme Absolute Truth is especially meant for the neophyte who can hardly think of the transcendental form of the personality of Godhead. To him, a form means something of this material world, and therefore an opposite conception of the Absolute is necessary in the beginning to concentrate the mind on the power extension of the Lord. As stated above, the Lord extends his potency in the form of the Mahatattva, which includes all material ingredients. The extension of power by the Lord and the Lord himself personally are one in one sense, but at the same time the Mahatattva is different from the Lord. Therefore, the potency of the Lord and the Lord are simultaneously different and non-different. The conception of the Virat Roop, especially for the impersonalist, is thus non-different from the eternal form of the Lord. This eternal form of the Lord exists prior to the creation of the Mahatattva, and it is stressed here that the eternal form of the Lord is par excellence, spiritual or transcendental to the modes of material nature. The very transcendental form of the Lord is manifested by his internal potency, and the formation of his multifarious manifestations of incarnations is always of the same transcendental quality, without any touch of the Mahatattva. Text 4. Pasyantyado rupam adbrahakshakshupa sahasrapadhura bhujanan adbhutam sahasramordha shravanakshinashikam sahasramolyambara kundalo lasat. The devotees with their perfect eyes see the transcendental form of the Purusha, who has thousands of legs, thighs, arms, and faces, all extraordinary. In that body there are thousands of heads, ears, eyes, and noses. They are decorated with thousands of helmets, all glowing earrings, and are adorned with garlands. Purport. With our present materialized senses, we cannot perceive anything of the transcendental Lord. Our present senses are to be rectified by the process of devotional service, and then the Lord himself becomes revealed to us. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed that the transcendental Lord can be perceived only by pure devotional service. So it is confirmed in the Vedas that only devotional service can lead one to the side of the Lord, and that only devotional service can reveal him. In the Brahma Samhita also it is said that the Lord is always visible to the devotees whose eyes have been anointed with a tinge of devotional service. So we have to take information of the transcendental form of the Lord from persons who have actually seen him with perfect eyes smeared with devotional service. In the material world also, we do not always see things with our own eyes. We sometimes see through the experience of those who have actually seen or done things. If that is the process for experiencing a mundane object, it is more perfectly applicable in matters transcendental. So only with patience and perseverance can we realize the transcendental subject matter regarding the Absolute Truth and his different forms. He is formless to the neophytes, but he is in transcendental form to the expert servitor. Text 5. Etananavataranam nidhanam bijam avyayam yasyam samashena srijayante devatiryan naradaya. Thus form, the second manifestation of the Purusha, is the source and indestructible seed of multifarious incarnations within the universe. From the particles and portions of this form, different living entities like demigods, men, and others are created. Purport. The Purusha, after creating innumerable universes in the Mahatattva, entered in each of them as the second Purusha, Garbhodakja Vishnu. When he saw that within the universe there was only darkness and space, without a resting place, he filled half the universe with water from his own perspiration and laid himself down on the water. This water is called Garbhodaka. Then from his navel, the stem of the lotus flower sprouted, and on the flower petals the birth of Brahma, or the master engineer of the universal plan, took place. Brahma became the engineer of the universe, and the Lord himself took charge of maintenance of the universe as Vishnu. Brahma was generated from Rajagun of Prakriti, or the mode of passion in nature, and Vishnu became the Lord of the mode of goodness. Vishnu, being transcendental to all the modes, is always aloof from materialistic affection. This has already been explained. From Brahma, there is Rudra, Shiva, who is in charge of the mode of ignorance or darkness. He destroys the whole creation by the will of the Lord. Therefore, there are three, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are incarnations of Garbhodakja Vishnu. From Brahma, the other demigods like Daksha, Marishi, Manu, and many others become incarnated to generate living entities within the universe. This Garbhodakja Vishnu is glorified in the Vedas in the hymns of the Garbha Stuti, which begin with the description of the Lord as having thousands of heads, etc. The Garbhodakja Vishnu is the Lord of the universe, and although he appears to be lying within the universe, he is always transcendental. This also has already been explained. The Vishnu, who is the plenary portion of the Garbhodakja Vishnu, is the supersoul of the universal life, and he is known as the maintainer of the universe, or Kshirodakja Vishnu. So the three features of the original Purusha are thus understood, and all the incarnations within the universe are emanations from this Kshirodakja Vishnu. In different millennia, there are different incarnations, and they are innumerable, although some of them are very prominent, such as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, and many others. These incarnations are called Leela incarnations. Then there are qualitative incarnations such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, or Rudra, who take charge of the different modes of material nature. Lord Vishnu is non-different from the personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is in the marginal position between the personality of Godhead and the living entities, or jivas. Brahma is always a jiva tattva. The highest pious living being, or the greatest devotee of the Lord, is empowered with the potency of the Lord for creation, and he is called Brahma. His power is like the power of the sun reflected in valuable stones and jewels. When there is no such living being to take charge of the post of Brahma, the Lord himself becomes a Brahma and takes charge of the post. Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living being. He is the plenary portion of the Lord, but because Lord Shiva is in direct touch with material nature, he is not exactly in the same transcendental position as Lord Vishnu. The difference is like that between milk and curd. Curd is nothing but milk, and yet it cannot be used in place of milk. The next incarnations are the Manus. Within 1 day's duration of life of Brahma, which is calculated by our solar year as 4,300,000 times 1,000 years, are the 14 Manus. Therefore, there are 420 Manus in 1 month of Brahma, and 5,040 Manus in 1 year of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years of his age, and therefore there are 5,040 times 100, or 504,000 Manus in the duration of Brahma's life. There are innumerable universes with one Brahma in each of them, and all of them are created and annihilated during the breathing time of the Purusha. Therefore, one can simply imagine how many millions of Manus there are during one breath of the Purusha. The Manus who are prominent within this universe are as follows: Yagya as Svayambhuva Manu, Vibhu as Svarochiksha Manu, Satyasena as Uttama Manu, Hari as Tamasa Manu, Vaikuntha as Raivata Manu, Ajita as Chakshusha Manu, Vamana as Vaivasvata Matu, who is the present age is under the Vaivasvata Manu, and Sarvambhauma as Savarini Manu, Rishabha as Daksha Savarni Manu, Vishvakshena as Brahma Savarni Manu, Dharma Setu as Dharma Savarni Manu, Sudama as Rudra Savarni Manu, Yogeshvara as Deva Savarni Manu, and Brihad Bhanu as Indra Savarni Manu. These are the names of one set of 14 Manus, covering 4,300,000,000 solar years, as described above. Then there are the Yuga avatars, or the incarnations of the millennia. The Yugas are known as Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. The incarnations of each Yuga are of different color. The colors are white, red, black, and yellow. In the Dwapara Yuga, Lord Krishna in black color appeared, and in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya in yellow color appeared. So all the incarnations of the Lord are mentioned in the revealed scriptures. There is no scope for an impostor to become an incarnation, for an incarnation must be mentioned in the Shastras. An incarnation does not declare himself to be an incarnation of the Lord, but great sages agree by the symptoms mentioned in the revealed scriptures. The features of the incarnation and the particular type of mission which he has to execute are mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Apart from the direct incarnations, there are innumerable empowered incarnations. They are also mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Such incarnations are directly as well as indirectly empowered. When they are directly empowered, they are called incarnations, but when they are indirectly empowered, they are called vibhutis. Directly empowered incarnations are the Kumaras, Narada, Prithu, Sesha, Ananta, etc. As far as the vibhutis are concerned, they are very explicitly described in Bhagavad Gita in the Vibhuti Yoga chapter. And for all these different types of incarnations, the fountainhead is the Garbhodakja Vishnu. Thus ends our reading for today. On Wednesday, we'll continue from text 6. All glories to Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Om Vishnu Pad Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to our Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to Shripad Bhakti Niskam Shanta Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Shripad Bhakti Vigyan Muni Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. All glories to Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Nitai Gora Hari Hari Bol. Dandavat Pranam.